Well, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
Today, we witnessed something that almost never happens on daytime TV. Whoopi Goldberg, the queen of liberal daytime talk, got absolutely dismantled on her own turf. And not by some firebrand politician, not by a TV veteran. It was a young, sharp, unshakably calm woman, Karoline Leavitt. Now, if you missed it, buckle up, because what started as Whoopi throwing her usual smug jabs about wokeness quickly turned into a slow surgical exposure of the entire hypocrisy that The View has been running on for years. When Whoopi smugly told Karoline, "Without wokeness, you wouldn't even have your job," she thought she delivered the knockout punch. Instead, Karoline smiled. Not in anger, not in panic, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the facts, the numbers, and the reality are all on her side. And what happened next, let's just say it wasn't Whoopi controlling the conversation anymore. Stick around, because today we're breaking down how Karoline Leavitt didn't just defend herself, she exposed the entire rotten core of the woke narrative. Live on national television in front of millions. Let's get into it.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
When Karoline Leavitt appeared on The View, many expected another routine segment, another day of liberal hosts talking over dissenting voices, another moment when conservative viewpoints would be drowned out by canned applause and rehearsed outrage. But what unfolded was anything but routine. At the heart of the exchange was a moment so revealing, so symbolic of the larger cultural divide, that it's worth studying carefully. It began when Whoopi Goldberg, armed with her usual smirk and faux authority, delivered a cutting line. "Without wokeness, you wouldn't even have this job." It was a moment meant to belittle, a dismissal not just of Karoline's achievements, but of the idea that a woman, especially a young conservative woman, could rise on merit, rather than on the crutches of identity politics.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good.
But Karoline Leavitt didn't flinch. She didn't sputter or retreat into defensiveness. Instead, she smiled a slow, knowing smile that radiated not arrogance, but certainty. Certainty rooted in preparation and facts, and in the quiet confidence of someone who knows she is standing on solid ground. Her response wasn't a shouted retort. It was a methodical, surgical dismantling. She calmly outlined how wokeness, far from being a ladder for opportunity, had metastasized into a political weapon, one that rewards compliance, punishes dissent, and ultimately undermines the very ideals it claims to defend. Karoline pointed to government spending reports. Millions funneled into programs that pushed ideological activism overseas. Taxpayer dollars funding social engineering projects disguised as cultural outreach. She showed with precision how a once noble cause of equality had been hijacked and weaponized not to lift individuals up, but to silence those who dared to think differently. And in that moment, the veneer cracked.
In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you? Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me.
Whoopi Goldberg Long, the queen of daytime TV's left-leaning orthodoxy, was left without a rebuttal. Her hands fidgeted. Her trademark smirk evaporated. The audience, usually so quick to jeer, conservatives fell into a thick, awkward silence. It was as if, for the first time, the script had been broken and no one knew what to say. Karoline had not just won an argument, she had exposed a truth many instinctively feel, but rarely see so clearly illustrated. If wokeness were truly about opportunity, why is it weaponized against those who dissent? If inclusion were truly the goal, why are conservative women attacked so viciously when they succeed?
Divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
And perhaps most damning of all, why does the left, having fought for a seat at the table, now work so hard to deny that seat to anyone who challenges their dogma? This was more than a media clash. It was a snapshot of a generational battle, one between those who believe opportunity comes from identity and those who believe it comes from effort, talent, and merit. Karoline Leavitt stood firmly in the latter camp. By the time the segment ended, Whoopi Goldberg wasn't dominating the conversation. She was clinging to it. And in the uneasy silence that followed, it was clear that even her most loyal viewers felt it. The old guard had been challenged, and for once they had no answer. End.
You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
And there you have it. In just a few minutes, Karoline Leavitt didn't just defend herself, she exposed the entire brittle foundation that people like Whoopi Goldberg have been standing on for years. No shouting, no playing the victim. Just facts, composure, and a quiet strength that honestly, we don't see enough of anymore. The question isn't whether Karoline won that moment. The real question is, how many more voices like hers are we missing out on because they don't fit the approved narrative? If wokeness was supposed to bring more opportunity and more voices to the table, why does it silence the ones it doesn't like? Karoline Leavitt just showed us that speaking truth calmly, fearlessly is still the most powerful weapon we have. And if that makes the old guard uncomfortable, good, maybe it's time they got a little uncomfortable. Thanks for watching. If you believe it's time for real conversations, not scripted, talking points, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep building a platform where facts and courage still matter. I'll see you in the next one. If you found value in what we broke down today, if you're tired of the mainstream noise, and you believe it's time for fearless, fact-driven voices to rise, then I need your support. Hit that like button. Share this video with just one friend who needs to hear the truth without the spin. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because the more we grow this community, the harder it becomes for them to silence us. And if you really believe in what we're building here, drop a comment below. Tell me your thoughts, your experiences, because this isn't just my platform, it's our voice. Let's make it louder than ever. Thanks for standing strong with me. Let's keep pushing forward.